I think it is a very, very interesting division.
There's a lot of things to look forward to with this division.
All right, everybody, welcome back. It is another edition of From the Pocket coming at you on this Monday. Christian, it is the final week before we're just a week away. Next week, this time, a week from now, we're going to be getting ready for actual football to happen. How are you doing?
Yeah.
I know you're sick. I appreciate you toughing it out for us today.
Yeah, not too bad. I feel better than past couple days, but yeah, man, it's crazy. Now we're this last week. A lot of teams gotta get their 53-man roster going now. Preseason is done and over with, and yeah, not this Thursday, but the Thursday after, we got season opener Cowboys at Eagles. So that's gonna be fun.
It is so close. It is just right around the corner.
You can smell it.
And we got a couple more things to do before we get there. We got 3 more pods. Well, I guess 4 technically, but that final pod is literally going to be week 1 predictions. So we still got 3 pods of prep, but we are so close. Today, we're talking the AFC East. We have the NFC East on Thursday, so if you're a fan of one of those teams, feel free to tune in then as well. But today, we got 4 teams. I think it is a very, very interesting division. I know the AFC North was tough. That was tough. That one hurt. That was a brutal podcast episode. We're just trashing those teams. I don't think we're going to be doing that as much this time around.
No, I think overall, this division, one team I'm kind of like on, but I think the other 2 are pretty solid. Well, and obviously the number 1 team here, but yeah, I think there's a lot of things to look forward to with this division.
I 100% agree. And, Christian, as I have been doing, I want to talk about some themes for each of these teams, right? So I thought about the theme I came up with for this division is culture under construction. I know it doesn't really work with the Bills because the Bills have obviously had a winning culture for quite a while now, but the Patriots, the Jets, obviously new coaches. Jets have a new quarterback as well. The Patriots have a second-year quarterback. And then the Dolphins, they didn't make any big personnel changes in the coaching staff, but there has been a lot of talk with them about accountability, being tougher. They've really turned over the roster this past offseason. So I think there really is a lot to be said there. Nevertheless, still some very interesting teams. Still, I think, some real big surprises. Are you ready to get started, Christian?
Yeah, let's get right into it.
All right, we can go ahead and start. It's only fair with the Buffalo Bills. The Bills coming off a dominating 13-4 season. It was supposed to be a down year for them.
That's exactly what I was gonna say when you were gonna pass it over to me.
Yeah, it was exactly. It's supposed to be a down year. Reading each other's mind, we're mind melding. That's dope. But even in a down year, trade off Stephon Diggs. Definitely shed a lot of those defensive pieces. Last year, they were very weak personnel-wise on the defense, especially in their secondary. And despite all that, they're in the AFC Championship in a one-possession game in the fourth quarter with a chance to go win it. And they came up short, which, 0-4 against the Chiefs now in the playoffs in the Josh Allen Mahomes era. Unfortunate, but obviously, this is one of the top-tier teams in the league. Barring injuries, knock on wood, they're going to be there at the end. So I feel like the vibes are very, very good for this team. Christian, what is your immediate reaction going into their offseason? How should Bills fans feel about how 2024 ended and how 2025 is looking?
Obviously how 2024 ended, disappointing. You were, going into the season, you were kind of doubted through. I know we weren't. I think we both, and I think some other top commentators were like, "No, this team is still good, and this division is still pretty weak." And we saw that they got 13-4 wins. Josh Allen wins the MVP last season. Had a really great season, individually, like just all around, just offensively, he was really good. Yeah, and you talked about, I think you hit on their defense. Their secondary was very weak. But yeah, I think it was really their safety. Like, I like DeMar Hamlin. It's a great story, but you saw them struggle a lot. They're kind of known for running their like when they had Poyer and Micah Hyde. They were known for their like cover four usage and all that stuff. That did not work this past year because they didn't trust their safety. So we saw
Yeah.
a lot of cover two with the Bills there, just like having help and them not being on an island by themselves and having somebody under there to help them. But yeah, no, this team is still really, really good. I mean, it's them and the Chiefs every year. These past 5 seasons, they've made the playoffs and they've played very, very, very well. And their Achilles heel is the Chiefs, and it's so funny because they've kind of built their team just like the Chiefs. Have
Mirror
all
image.
pro, all pro quarterback, probably be a future Hall of Famer, decent running back with James Cook, weapons, a lot to be desired. I do like their tight end, Dawson Knox. I like Dalton Kincaid defensively. They play very, very well situationally, at least in the regular season. Now, the playoffs has been their biggest struggle, giving up an average 33.2 points a game in their losses there. But yeah, I still like this team. I still think they're gonna do really, 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 really well. Their schedule's not too tough.
True.
I mean, they have some hard ones. They open up, as we've talked about, Sunday night against the Ravens, so that's gonna be a fun one. They play Kansas City. They get them at home. They usually beat Kansas City, and then they play the Eagles late in the season. Play the Bengals, also, but yeah, no, I still have high hope for this team. 13-4, a lot of wins there. They addressed their defense a lot in free agency and the draft. So hopefully they can get some better production out of there and maybe keep the opponents off the board in the playoffs. But still, still really like this team a whole bunch.
No, I totally agree. And I made this point last year, and I really want to echo it because I was so proud of what they did. I was getting so frustrated with the Bills these past 3 to 4 years because you could tell like they had a window, and the window it did not pay off, right? They did not end up going to win it. And what you see a lot of times when these teams do this is they have this all-time great quarterback. You saw the Packers do this with Aaron Rodgers, right? And they feel like we cannot waste a year. Like, we can't take a step back. We have a quarterback in his prime, an elite level, all-time great quarterback in his prime. We have to take advantage of it. And what you end up seeing is instead of really addressing that issue with their nucleus, they just let it get older and older and try to kind of duct tape it together, and you see it decline and decline and decline. And that's how you get the Saints. I know they had some issues with their defense and Bounty Gate and all that stuff, but that kind of happened to the Saints. That definitely happened to the Packers. I mean, there was a period of time, middle 2010s, Aaron Rodgers was missing the playoffs. I think across 15, 16, and 17, he missed the playoffs 2 out of 3 years. So the Bills last year said, we're not going to do that. We're gonna take our medicine. We're gonna get rid of Stephon Diggs. We're gonna get rid of all these defensive pieces. We're gonna take a step back this offseason, but we're going to be preparing for the future. And you know what? When you have a quarterback like Josh Allen, you still go to the AFC Championship anyway. Like, it doesn't even matter because you have a guy who is that good. Like, you always have a chance, even if your roster isn't where you want it to be. So they took their medicine, they took a step back, and now they were able to go into this offseason. And as you said, they did a lot of stuff to really address their key needs especially on the defensive side, right? 6 of their 9 picks were defensive picks. 4 of their 5 top free agency signings were defense. And I was just a big fan of that. I know, obviously, they took Maxwell Hairston in the first round. Their secondary, as you pointed out, terrible last year. I mean, look, Christian Benford was great.
Their safeties really were like
yeah. I mean, Christian Benford is always great. Teron Johnson is their slot, and he's also very, very good. So, you go and address, you get Hairston, you really build up that secondary a little more. And they also got some guys, they brought in Joey Bosa. They drafted TJ Sanders in the second round, so they added to their defensive tackle room. They still got Greg Rousseau, who's a stud. Ed Oliver coming off a down year. Hopefully he can maybe bounce back. So I was a big fan of how they approached this offseason. I'm still concerned about their defense. Do not get me wrong. I think their defensive line still kind of leaves a little bit to be desired. I mean, Joey Bosa, is Joey Bosa even going to be there all season long? You know what I mean?
I think he'll be a good depth rotational piece. He can't play like he can't be in there the whole time.
Yeah, and Larry Ogunjobi got signed as well. Larry Ogunjobi is going to miss the first 6 games of the season, unfortunately. But nevertheless, when he does come in, he should be able to help Ed Oliver and Daquan Jones. So really, to me, again, the secondary, can they fix those issues? And then their linebacking core was not good last year. And Matt Milano was injured. Well, so Matt Milano has only played 12 games in the last 2 years.
Damn.
9 games in the regular season. He played all 3 playoff games, but nevertheless, like, that is a concern. Like, there are question marks. I guess the easiest way to say this, right? There are question marks at every level of their defense, and they took some steps to address it. I'm not knocking them for that, but still some concerns. And then offensively, I mean, look, we could sit here and be like, Keon Coleman's not good enough. Joshua Palmer's not good enough. Khalil Shakur's a good slot, but, like, that's all you got. You know, why are you giving James Cook all this money? And, bro, they got Josh Allen. Like, they got Josh Allen behind a very, very good offensive line. They're going to be fine. They're going to be fine.
Do want to just highlight Joe Brady. He's done an amazing job keeping Josh Allen. He's not, the Josh Allen of old where he has those plays where it's like, what are you doing? And they kind of turned into like a ball control, not taking the ball out of Josh's hands too much, but, running in on early downs. They brought back James Cook. And so he's been giving them great production in the backfield there. So yeah, so just taking the plate out of Josh Allen's hands and running the ball and being more efficient. Like they're like top 5 or top 10, top 5 in a lot of like those advanced metrics on offense. And Josh Allen has really, really turned down those turnovers. I think he only had 5 interceptions last year.
6, which
6.
Okay. Let me. We're mind melding, Christian. We are just so mind melding because you hit on the thing I wanted to talk about really quick. Listen to these interception numbers for Josh Allen throughout his career. He had 12 his rookie season, whatever. 2019, he had 9, pretty good. 10, and then Brian Daboll leaves. I think Brian Daboll left in 21. He left in 21. So
that was the year they were like, yeah, Josh, just do whatever. Go ahead.
15 interceptions, 14 interceptions, and then in 2023, 18 interceptions. Joe Brady becomes the interim offensive coordinator halfway through 23. They keep him on for 24, 6 interceptions. And here's another stat to hammer home what you're saying. In each of 2020, 21, 22, and 23, Josh Allen had almost 600 attempts per season. He was in the 570s basically all of those seasons, except one he had 650 passes almost. Last year he had 483. They reduced his basically his average number of passes per season by almost 100 attempts. And it paid dividends. Like, you don't need, they're looking at what the Chiefs are doing, right? Like, you don't need Patrick Mahomes to go out there. I know everybody wants Patrick Mahomes to light it up. That's not the game they're playing no more, y'all.
Yeah, they're about winning games to get a higher seed to play to get a home field advantage in the playoffs. And that's what they're doing.
They're about, we're going to just have our defense beat you. We're going to keep it a close, nitty-gritty game, ball control, and then we got a dude at the end who's just going to beat you because he's better than you. At Patrick Mahomes, that's what they're doing, and that's what the Bills are doing. So, I do love what the Bills are doing. Like, I think losing to the Bengals in the divisional a couple of years ago was really that was just the down. That was the low point I felt for this team.
They were getting beat in the divisional.
They lost by 3 possessions in that game at home, and it was. I feel like they've really done a great job of taking their medicine, of resetting the clock. And now, last year, there's a real chance that last year is the worst you are going to see this team be. over the next 3 to 4 years.
That's crazy.
I mean, for real. I mean, and especially
games.
with an easier schedule this year. I mean, the whole AFC East has an easier schedule this year. So I'm telling you, dude, like, I got some nice stuff I want to say about the Patriots. I got some nice stuff I want to say about the Jets. I think the Bills, I think they could just waltz into the number 1 seed this year.
I mean, it's on the board. Like,
I think they just could.
It's on the board. Like I said, listed out their schedule. Other than that, and throw the Bucks and the Texans on there. But other than that, you could see them winning a lot of these. They play the Saints. They play the Falcons. They play the Panthers. They play the Browns. Like,
I mean, they're hard games.
The Steelers.
I mean, yeah, I mean, they're hard games. Like, maybe you say they split with the Patriots if you want to be high on the Patriots. They have the Eagles, they have the Bengals, they have the Texans, they have the Bucks, they have the Chiefs, and they have the Ravens. Like, those are all iffy games, but, like...
I mean, they usually beat the Chiefs in the regular season.
That's true. And, I mean, again, they got Josh Allen. This is a gritty team. Like, they're going to probably win most of those games. And then they're going to win the, however many of... I can't do quick math off the top of my head, but the 9 or so games that are left, I mean, they're probably going to win all but one of those games. Like, I mean, this is a walking, to me, 13-14. Probably is like, their ceiling could be, obviously, I think 15-2 if they really hit on all cylinders this year. And, I mean, their floor, I mean, what, 11-6? Like, I mean, we thought
that would be a down year.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, they went 10 and they were 10-7 winning the division a couple years ago, and we all went, bro. The Bills just ain't got it this year. Like 10-7, and they lose in the divisional. Or yeah, whatever. I don't remember the exact. Maybe they went 11-6. I don't remember the seeding off the top of my head, but either way,
in 2023 they went 11-6.
Okay, so it was 11-6, not 10-7. So yeah, I mean, I think 11-6 is their floor. Like, I just don't see them being any worse than that. So
I'd be shocked if they went 11-6. To be honest with you.
Yeah. So. I don't really know how much else I have left on the Bills. I mean, a lot of positive stuff to say there. I can check through my notes really quick. Yeah, I mean, I guess the last thing I'll say, I am still concerned about their secondary. Here's a little stat for you. They were among top of the league last year in open coverage rate and step coverage rate. So the amount of distance between a receiver and the defender, they were among the worst in the league at that. So they can get that cleaned up, and they got some good corners. They brought back Trey White.
Okay.
I mean, he's a good filler piece. He's obviously not what he was.
Yeah,
but
he's been there. He knows the system. He knows what they're trying to probably do. So I don't hate it. And then they got their first-round pick, Maxwell Hairston from Kentucky. So I think they'll be really, really solid corner-wise. I'm just worried about those safeties. And then, can they just get their pressure rate up?
Yeah, no, they're very, very feast or famine at stopping the run last year. Second in stuff rate, last in the league in explosive run rate allowed. So they're either hitting you for a 2-yard loss, or they're giving up an 8-yard run. Like, it's kind of one or the other. Joey Bosa has only played 2 full seasons in his career, so when he's on the field, he should help. But I know he was already dealing with some injuries earlier this training camp, so I think he's healthy now. But it's kind of the point. You never know. So
yeah.
All right. Well, with that, Christian, anything else on the Bills?
No, I mean, when is it going to be the Dolphins' turn? I guess our turn was in the 70s and 80s when we had
Don Shula, and they got Dan Marino.
Then we got Dan Marino. Then it was the early 2000s with the Patriots. Well, they had technically 2 dynasties or whatever.
All right, Christian, with that, we can move on to something very exciting. The Miami Dolphins, or as I should say, your Miami Dolphins, your team. Christian.
There it is. Oh, there.
It's somewhere back there, yeah. For those of you listening, Christian has a Dolphins thing that he puts on his wall. But I'm gonna set this up for you, Christian. I'm gonna make it quick, and then I'm just gonna hand it over to you. I'm gonna let you do what you do. So
I'll just Yeah.
So really quick, and I think I might be a little more positive about the Dolphins. So you can be as down as you want.
Yeah,
I'll try to balance it out. But really quick, let's talk about 2024. I know on paper everybody goes Dolphins down, Dolphins bat. Look, they went 8-9. They were missing Tua. They had terrible
averaging less
Yeah,
than 10 points a game
yeah,
for quite a bit of that season.
for sure. But missing Tua a good chunk of the season. You lost defensively. Bradley Chubb did not play at all. Jalen Phillips was out for most of the season. And then on your
Yeah.
offensive line, you also had some terrible injuries to your offensive line as well.
And terrible play.
And terrible play. So, with all that in mind, they still won 8 games. And I have been a big fan of what I've heard this offseason thus far. The Dolphins have really, to me, they're trying to do two things, right? They're trying to accountability, they're trying to prioritize culture and toughness. And, you know, we talk about the Steelers. The Steelers, Omar Khan, their GM, coming out here going, we're prioritizing the offense. That's why we spent 5 of our 7 draft picks on defense. That's why, all of our top contracts were defensive players. The Dolphins, they said we're prioritizing toughness and trench warfare.
Yeah, we
And
did.
they built on their lines. They went and did that.
They
So
did.
I am happy with that. But Christian, resident Dolphins fan, I'm gonna turn it over to you. You give your thoughts on how you feel about the Dolphins going into this season.
Okay. I will just right off the bat. Chris Greer, I know I've been tough on you, and Mike McDaniels. I will say I wish we would have focused more on the offensive line. We did bring, I think, 3 new starters in. We drafted a rookie guard. So I do appreciate that, getting healthier back on and having like a slew of guys for that defensive line. I really love that. And often addressing off. I wish we'd addressed it a little bit more, but hey, I can't knock it because offensive line has been a position group that we have just ignored, and I don't understand why. Why we've in with our quarterback who, like, if he gets hit, I mean, it's no offense, but like it's a big issue if he gets hit hard, and so I just want to give praise to that. Give credit where credit's due. But so let's take this back to 2024. Jake, you said we won 8 games, and let's take it back to that week 18 loss to the Jets. And let's talk about what our star wide receiver did at his ending press conference and said he didn't even want to be there. So like already, like, we're starting off 2025 with a bang. And Tyreek Hill's doing his nonsense. And then like side tangent about Tua. I didn't mind the comments in the preseason about, the relationship between Tua and Tyreek. I mean, you wouldn't know, you would have liked it to have been, more in-house, but I don't mind what Tua said. I think that was very real of him to say, like, hey, you went out there and after we had a disappointing season and you trashed the team and you said you didn't want to be here. So, I mean, shout out for Tua for that. Again, I would have said would have liked him, probably would have should have kept it in house, but hey, it is what it is. So, and Tyreek was banged up and stuff like that. But yeah, overall, last season was pretty weird. Um, what a the offensive struggles, not doing well with Mike McDaniel. That offense only averaged less than like 10 points a game. Tua getting injured early in that season. Achan didn't really have a breakout sophomore season. I mean, for me, I'm not expecting too much out of this season, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like I said, I like what they did, obviously. But I think the Patriots got better. I'm a little scared of the Jets. I think they got better. Um, and this is kind of a weird. We're in like a hybrid, like rebuild slash retool for this team, and I mean, we're gonna be probably a little bit more annoying to play. I don't think you're just gonna be able to push us over. Like I said, I do like the additions to our defensive line and our additions to offensive line. We're getting Bradley Chubb back after he missed the entire season last year. Jalen Phillips, if he can stay healthy, we should be good. We just signed, we re-signed. I mean, Zach Zeeler. He was our best defensive lineman last year, and we paid him for it. PFF has him 11th, had him graded as the 11th best. He was really good, but it was just him and Chop. So Chop was had some issues in the preseason, but he's good. So looking really looking forward to watching how this defense plays under the second year Anthony Weaver from Baltimore. I think he was like the DB or he was a position coach, but now he has the DC for Miami. So really excited to see how that unit plays. But I think all the attention is going to be on the offense, and I mean as it should. We have a lot over there spent over there on the offensive line. Tyreek Hill played Waddle. Tua just got paid. On the culture thing, I have never seen a team 3 years into and a new regime. Well, Chris Greer's been there for a little bit, but like new head coach, in 3 years, we're talking about a culture change. Like, shouldn't that be year one?
That's a great point. Honestly, continue.
That's insane. Like, can we? I'm hearing everybody like culture. People were showing up late. Jalen Ramsey might have been. I don't know about that situation. That situation was pretty weird. But like, bro, like I like Mike McDaniel's. Like I guess like I'm not gonna hate on his style or whatever. But like once you're that like player friendly coach, you just can't switch up in year 3 and now things are like we're gonna start stepping up to these players and stuff like that, which like should have been day one. That should have been day one, year one, like getting the kinks out and all that and having people accountable. And I guess I'll say last bit here.
Yeah.
And I'll let you go.
No, you're good.
I don't have a lot of expectations for this team, to be honest with you. I mean, as long as we play a little bit better, maybe get that 7th seed, but I don't see us going far. And like I said, I think the dream scenario is if we suck and then the Steelers suck and the Steelers kind of get their head out of their ass and maybe just part ways. Not don't have to fire Mike Tomlin, but just part ways, mutually agree. I mean, hey. Mike Tomlin bringing him over to Miami would be great, but obviously I'm rooting on this team. Don't want to fire a head coach, but probably maybe fire it with just depending how it goes. Don't want to fire a head coach and GM in the middle of the season, but things don't go the way that then because I feel like this team on the out, like they're telling themselves they have Super Bowl aspirations, stuff like that, but man, I mean, we just need a playoff win. Longest playoff drought win in NFL in the NFL right now with like 20 plus years.
Yeah.
It's and then one more thing.
All right.
Darren Waller. Why? We're talking about being serious. This man retired a few years ago and then, was doing music, and now we're bringing Darren Waller. Like, I get we didn't want to play Johnny Smith, even though he was our most productive player on offense last year. That's besides the point. Whatever. Trade him to the Steelers. But, like, Darren Waller? Really? That also pissed me off.
Yeah. No, I don't blame you. Look, it is a very bizarre situation in Miami, right? Because I feel like very rarely, again, as you said, do you ever hear like, Mike McDaniels has been here how many years now, and he's like, we gotta fix our culture. It's like
3
that
years.
Sounds like a thing that you messed up on. Then, like,
yeah,
we see teams sometimes, long-term coaches where they're like, hey, we got to retool. We got to take a step back. But, like, they are either just so respected or they have such tenure that, like, they're allowed to do it. Like, if the Steelers if the Steelers decided in-house, we're going to take a step back, we're going to retool, and we're going to rebuild our core, Mike Tomlin would be allowed to do that, right? I don't know how much cachet Mike McDaniels has to take a step back and retool this team. Like, and that's where it gets weird, is it's like, okay, so you're clearly like rebuilding, like you're kind of retooling, whatever you want to call it. Like, you're trying to rebuild your offensive and defensive line. Tyreek is probably coming at the door at some point. How long is Tua going to be there? Who knows? We'll see, kind of thing. Like, you're clearly doing the things that a team does when they're kind of redoing their team. But at the same time, it's like, okay, well, so if the Dolphins go 5-12 this year and they finish last place, Is Mike McDaniels getting fired? I don't
I
know.
think he should.
But like that's the weird thing is it's like so we're like it's almost like Mike McDaniels is selling his job off to like it's like you're actively saying we're gonna go ahead and just take a season to find ourselves and we're not gonna have the most talent. It's gonna be a tough year. We might be competitive, but like we're probably not gonna win as many games as we have in recent years. And it's like, well, that sounds like you're getting fired, dude. Like I don't know what's going on there. So that's very weird. And then, I mean, I hate to say it, but I got to say it. Like, the whole Vic Fangio thing when he goes in there and everybody hates him. And it's like, man, is Vic Fangio just an asshole or are the Dolphins lazy? And then he goes to...
I think it's starting to look like we were just lazy.
And he goes to Philadelphia and turns around that defense like that and goes and wins the Super Bowl. And everybody goes, oh, okay, then. I guess we got our answer.
He might be a bit demanding, but like, hey, like this is what I think can work in the NFL. I'm a proven commodity. Like you brought me here so to fix this defense, and if you're not buying into what I'm preaching, then yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna dip. Y'all don't like me? Sure, whatever. I'll go find a team that does.
Oh, I went and found Philadelphia, and I have a Super Bowl ring now. So,
yeah.
But no, I mean, and look, to get into the nuts and bolts of what this team did, again, they had a lot of losses, which I think really speaks to the turnover that this team has had this offseason, right? Teron Armstead is...
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. You're
good. Sorry to cut you off, but our secondary, every player that played last year for our secondary is either hurt or gone. Like Kader Kohu tore his ACL. He's gone for the year. Jordan Poyer, he didn't really play well for us. And then Javon Holland, he's on the Giants. Man.
And you just signed Artie Burns, and he's out for season 2. Yeah, so
I will miss Javon Holland, but he didn't have a great season last year. So
hey, is what it is. But I mean, Kendall Fuller, Teron Armstead retired. Jalen Ramsey now gone. Robert Jones gone. Calais Campbell gone. Emmanuel Ogbah. You said Jordan Poyer, Isaiah Wynn, your tackle. So a long list, but again, a lot of turnover. You brought in James Daniels from Pittsburgh. Really, really great guard. He missed a lot of time last year with an Achilles injury, though. So
we had terrible guard play.
Yeah, so hopefully he can bounce back but like when he has played, he has been really good. And you added Jonah Savania in the second round. It speaks to the fact that you are addressing your needs in the draft and in free agency. I am a little worried about some of your offensive line, though. You got Patrick Pauls, who is playing tackle. He had a rough rookie season, and now he's getting the full-time nod at your most important offensive lineman position. Like that, I don't know how that's going to go. But you do got Aaron Brewer. And Aaron Brewer, like, great center. So, some work to do, some development to be had, but nevertheless, this feels like year one of like a turnaround for this O-line, right? I think next year you keep it up, you develop these guys. I think you're like a piece away from being like, oh, we have like actually like a borderline top 12 offensive line now with these guys. So I just think you got to stick with it. And then, defensive line, you added Kenneth Grant at D tackle. You got Jordan Phillips. You got Jalen Phillips. Yeah, you drafted Jordan Phillips, but you also got Jalen Phillips coming back. Bradley Chubb coming back. Chop Robinson was a stud. Chop Robinson was a stud his rookie year. He had. I
remember people were poo-pooing that pick, and he balled out his rookie season.
He did. He had, I believe, I saw the third highest pressure rate among eligible edge rushers. So, I mean, and again, like in your linebacking core, you got Jordan Brooks, who is a stud. Love that he's literally starting fights at practice with your other players because
get under the
exactly he's demanding so. And then
what is the profile when you think of the Miami Dolphins?
Soft
breakdancers, soft, can't play in the cold. That's where it starts.
So, and then, that secondary, look, I'm not going to lie to you, Chris. I would never lie to you. You're my friend. It's going to be rough. It was your weakest unit going into training camp, and you've lost 2 guys in it. Again, Kader Kohu out for season. You're starting a fifth rounder now, a rookie fifth rounder at your slot, and Jason Marshall, which, I went and looked. I don't know him. I went and looked at his draft profile. Said he's a serviceable backup, maybe. Which I don't know if you want that as your slot for the whole year. So they maybe a trade happens, but
I do like Minka. I know he didn't have his best seasons the past few years for the Steelers, but like when we traded him, he was an all pro for like much of those seasons when he was there. So like him coming back, is a veteran. Hopefully can get that unit playing decent. But we're gonna struggle. Like I feel you 100%.
It's gonna be rough. And I mean, look, I know a lot of football players. I don't know nothing about Storm Duck. I do not know who that is.
I didn't even know that was a player.
Storm Duck. He's going to be your outside. And then Kendall Sheffield. I mean, I'm vaguely aware of his story. Like, he's a fourth rounder, been in the league a long time, but hasn't really found his footing. So we'll see how he does. Hopefully he has a nice comeback. But it's going to be a tough year for that secondary. So, Christian, with all this in mind, they're clearly rebuilding their culture. Things are positive, but it is also kind of like, so wait, what's the vibe this year? What are we trying to do? If we win 7 games this year, is that a success? I don't know.
I don't think they want to win 7 games. They want to get in the playoffs.
You tell me, what is their ceiling? What is their floor? And where will they land? And where, really, again, within all this, tell me where you think they should be trying to land.
I mean, trying to land that 10-7, get that 7th seed, or 11-6, and get that 7th seed and try to get in the playoffs, and then because we're not winning this division, so let's get that off the board. we're farther away from that. But maybe if we can get the winner out of the. I want to say the AFC South, but if it's Houston, we're losing that game. But I mean, it's a toss up. But for the ceiling, I mean, we have the 9th easiest schedule. Looking at it, I mean, we open up against the Colts week 1. We got the Patriots week 3, Bills, Jets, Panthers, play the Browns, Falcons, play the Saints, and then harder games. You obviously the Bills, Baltimore, Cincinnati, and Tampa there. Those are our really, really tough. Oh, and the Chargers. Almost tried the Chargers. Sorry about that. Ceiling 10-7, maybe 11-6 if things go really, really great. And then the floor about 7, probably 7-10, 8-9, about last year.
Man, I would say your floor is probably 6. I really do.
Not a lot of people are we're not very highly touted as a contender across a lot of people's rankings. I think USA Today said we're one of the worst teams in the AFC or something like that.
A lot of people
are saying that.
I think, look, Tua, I feel like people forget how serviceable of a starter Tua is. Like, you're not going to lose every single game with Tua as your quarterback. Tua, you're going to win games, and you're going to win some games that maybe even surprise people. Like, y'all won 8 games last year with probably a harder schedule and insane amounts of injuries to your entire team. Like, if you just have half of that happen, if Tua can play, maybe not every game, but if he can play 15 of your 17 games, I feel like this team can go 8-9. I feel like this team can be in the thick of it for a wild card spot. Maybe a couple bounces go your way, you're in it. I don't know. I feel like it reminds me of the Cowboys, and we'll talk about the Cowboys later this week, but where it's everybody's just this team's going 7-10. And it's guys, we went 7-10 last year, missing our quarterback with a much harder schedule. You don't think we're winning more than 7 games this year? We did that last year with everything going wrong. So, last year everything went wrong for the Dolphins, and they found 8 wins. So, I am more bullish. Again, I don't think this is a contender, and I think there's a better chance than not that they do miss the playoffs. But, I don't. People are treating this team like they're about to win 4 games, and I don't see that.
Yeah, not that terrible. Now, would you fire Mike McDaniel and Chris Greer if we don't make the playoffs?
No, no. I feel like ownership needs to be more aware of what is happening here. You're clearly trying to turn over your roster. You're clearly moving into a new phase. You had a core, you brought in Tyreek, you paid all these money to all these players, and look, you gave it your all, you gave it a good run, and it didn't work. This is now you're rebuilding your core. And I feel like I would fire him if the team is not good. Like, if the offensive line still isn't good, the defensive line with all those dudes is not good. Like, fire him. But, like, if we get to the end of the season and they're 8-9, and it's like Tua had a pretty good season, your offensive line was much improved, your defensive line gave him hell, but your secondary just was bad because you can only do so many things in 1 year.
A lot of people were injured.
I would give him another year. Like, I just want to see. This is a real I want to see player development. I want to see you develop these units. And if you can do that, I'm good. But if you can't, that's when we need to start having the discussion. That's where my expectations are.
It would just have to be really, really bad. Like, if we won 4 games.
Oh, he's fired.
That,
He's fired. That's inexcusable.
Something like that.
Even 6 games. I'm not saying you have to make the playoffs, but I think you got to win 8 games. You don't win 8 games. I'm not keeping. Especially again, if Tua gets hurt and you're just bailing water at the quarterback position all year, that's a different story. But
that's why we brought in Quinn. We drafted Quinn Ewers.
Oh, right, the savior of the franchise, Quinn Ewers, the guy who lost every time I turned on Texas football. I was just mad at him. I was
I really didn't like Quinn Ewers that much, but I mean, we got him in the 7th round, so I can't be
bargain hunting.
Yeah, not terribly. Sorry. I will say this though, for the Tua's health. I think if he gets another really bad concussion and he has to miss a month or another month or 2, I would seriously consider hey bro, we can't have this. And obviously, pay out his money and all that, his guarantees and stuff like that. But I think if you gotta take care of the player themselves. I know he wants to be out there. He's a warrior. He wants to be there for his team. But his health is a big issue. And if he can't stay healthy, it's tough. But give him his money. All is guaranteed. But I think they should. If Tua is really, really, really struggles with staying healthy on the field and dealing with concussions, you gotta make him. Can you force them to retire?
No, I don't think so. I don't see what the mechanism for that would be. If they want to play and an NFL team wants to sign them to play,
I just think that's malpractice. If we continue to trot him out there after concussion and after concussion,
yeah, it would be wrong. It would be. But again, Tua's a grown man. If he decides I'm good to play, it's the Dolphins can make the decision. We don't care. We will pay you to retire. Tua's I want to play football. The Colts go calling for him and say, come play for us.
Yeah, I'd let it be.
All right, Christian, let's move on to our 3rd place team from 2024, the New York Jets. Boy, this has been maybe the best offseason the Jets have had, in my opinion, in quite a long time. We are now a decade removed from their last winning season, which came in 2015.
Oh my God.
I don't even want to talk about last season. I don't think anybody would benefit from us talking about last season. We all saw it. It was a fucking atrocity on a 100-yard football field. It was bad. Aaron Rodgers, bad offensive line play, bad, not bad, just not good. Nothing going right. Robert Saleh fired, and then the defense isn't good.
2-1 for that short bit, and then Aaron was they're on that run or whatever he said that.
It was really bad. So They bring in Aaron Glenn from Detroit, former Jets player, former first overall pick, or first round pick rather, Jets player Aaron Glenn.
Oh, turn it home.
Yes, and he immediately started shifting the culture. Kept the team out of the spotlight. Wasn't talking, making flashy things.
I love that you brought that up because I was gonna bring that up.
Told Aaron Rodgers, thanks but no thanks. We appreciate you, and that was it. And Aaron Rodgers was like, I can't believe they did this to me, and the Jets were radio silent. So big fan of that. And what is the? I'm gonna ask you this, Christian. I want you to see if you can guess based off of everything we know about football. What is the number one thing a team can do that tells you, oh, this team is taking their culture seriously?
Not being in the media and
I was referring to taking an offensive tackle in round one of a new regime.
That
if
is
you're
fair.
not if you take a quarterback, okay, fine. If you have a quarterback can't pass up on in the early part of the round, fine. Other than that, you're taking an offensive tackle. We're building that. Let's take Membu. Let's pair him with our offensive tackle we took last year in Olu Fashanu, and now all of a sudden it's like, man, we might have a top 10 tackle tandem in the NFL with our two young studs playing tackle. So
and they have their Vera Tucker, who was
Elijah Vera Tucker's still there.
4 years ago. At this point.
John Simpson, Joe Tippmann, great. I mean, this is a unit. Like, this offensive line is a unit, and it really pairs well, obviously, with what Aaron Glenn's going to want to do. He's going to want to run the ball with Breece Hall and Braylon Allen. I had some stats really quick I wanted to read about Braylon Allen, too, for those of y'all sleeping on him. So Braylon Allen's going into year 2. Did not have a ton of opportunity last year. You go look at his stats, and they're a little underwhelming. But
it was weird because, I felt like he was getting so much hype, coming in, and they just didn't run him.
But when they did, it worked. So he was the youngest player in the league last year.
Really?
Yes. They gave him the ball on 3rd and 1 9 times last year.
Got them all.
He got them all. And
he's a big dude. I was looking. I know it's not Madden isn't the 1-to-1 comparison, but I started a Jet series and I didn't fire Aaron Glenn. I couldn't. I'm controlling Aaron Glenn, and it's 6 foot.
He's 6'1",
6'1", 240.
Yeah.
And God damn, that dude big.
He is, and he was also not even just on 3rd and 1s. He was 11 for 12 on all 3rd down rushing attempts. So I mean, he was really good. And again, they got Olu Fashanu. 2nd round, they went and got Jason Taylor, Hall of Fame Jason Taylor, Miami Dolphins great.
Yeah,
his son.
Oh, that's his son. I would have never connected to me. That's cool.
Jason Taylor also had a 1-year stint with the New York Jets, for those of y'all interested in wondering, towards the end of his career, but nevertheless. So, look, I love the culture change. They are clearly trying to turn around this roster. They brought in Justin Fields to be quarterback, $20 million contract.
Very solid.
I don't think they're going to win a lot of games, but I think they're going to run the hell out of the ball. I think Garrett Wilson is still there. He just got at the bag. He's going to have a 1,000-yard season as he does.
He just wakes up.
And Sauce Gardner, look, everybody down on Sauce Gardner, and they should be. He didn't have a great year last year.
I'm a Pat Surtain fan myself. But
yeah,
I can't admit Sauce Gardner is good. He's probably the second or third.
I'm coming around to Derek Stingley actually as the best corner in the league. Every time I see a Derek Stingley stat line, I'm just like, what that? We're going to talk a little bit about that in our next team with the Patriots. I have a comparison, but nevertheless, they did have some losses though this offseason.
As you do.
DJ Reed gone.
Yeah.
That's tough. Javon Kinlaw gone. Hassan Reddick, I mean, he's gone, but was he ever here?
Yeah, he was never. Did he played what?
He played
a couple games,
a little bit, yeah. But it was. I mean, he was never really. Morgan Moses, Tyrone Smith gone. But again, you have your tackles are you don't need 80-year-old tackles no more. You have you have your fast studs on the outside. Lost Solomon Thomas and they lost Jalen Mills, which Jalen Mills. I mean, he's a good rotational secondary player, but nevertheless. As I said, they brought in Mason Taylor. They brought in Olu. I'm sorry, not Olu. They brought in Membu, rather. again, like I'm trying to be optimistic because I do love like the culture changes they made, and I know they're turning around their roster, but like they lost a lot of depth on the defensive side. What did you think about their offseason?
I loved it. I'm really kind of scared of this team. Not gonna lie, it was when they play the Dolphins. Uh, I like you said with the culture change. I it's just crazy to me how last year this was like one of the most talked about teams over the off season, and this was a lot of teams. This was a lot of teams division winner. This was a lot of teams. They were people said they were going to win the number one seed. This was a team that was going to make the AFC Championship and go to the Super Bowl. And coming this year, and they've just flown under the radar like they should have. And they brought in Aaron Glenn, which great hire. I think I'm very excited to see him, as you talked about with the tackle. Very like you said with the Saints, and still in some of your words, this was them putting on their big boy pants and being like, okay, now it's time to be an adult. Let's get our taxes in order. Let's like they're doing all the big boy stuff here, which I loved. I love that they didn't bring back Aaron Rodgers. Absolutely great.
Yeah.
Like I know we're not the biggest Aaron Rodgers fans, but why are we retreading? We're in a new regime. This past few seasons since Aaron was there, they catered everything to him, and did like brought in all like Devontae Adams and all that stuff. Alan Lazard, who is still on the team, brought him over, and they said we're all done with that. And then now they have Aaron Glenn. I like Justin Fields. I mean, I'm not in love with Justin Fields, but I like that contract. It's not like hey, we kind of this is like you're like a bridge player, but hey, if they play well this season and he looks decent, then he could get a bag come this off season. But I do for Justin Fields though, I do like that they now have a they're a lot tougher to scheme against, I guess, for defensive coaches, because Justin Fields is a phenomenal runner. His passing
Elite.
and all that is yet to be desired. For when Chicago drafted him.
To be fair on that, I will say, like, again, I don't think Justin Fields is about to light it up. I think Justin Fields is a middling quarterback, and I do think the best you can get out of Justin Fields are his legs. But, like, Justin Fields has never had Garrett Wilson to throw to. And he's never had an offensive line like this. So, this is probably going to be the best offense Justin Fields has been in, which is crazy because, like, I don't think of the Jets' offense as, like, I think it's fine, but I don't think it's, like, highly, highly powered. But I think that just speaks to, like, how bad the offenses have been that Justin Fields has been in. I mean, so I am, again, I don't think they're going to win a lot of games. I think Justin Fields is going to go in and be the worst quarterback of the two on most Sundays, but, you put Justin Fields on the ground 10, 15 times a game, that's a lot, but, maybe 10 times a game. You run it with Breece Hall, you throw Braylon Allen in there, and all of a sudden it's like, man, I hate playing this team. This team just runs, and they run it well, and they're putting up 25 points, and, they're skimming some teams out, 24-21 here and there, and it could be a tough team.
This is very reminiscent of, what what happened in Detroit with his name is Dan Campbell. Jesus Christ, Dan Campbell for the Lions there. So it's gonna be that. But yeah, like I think they'll have a good dynamic, at least be a little tougher to scheme against, because like he is such a very good runner, like extremely good. So with Breece Hall, but they got stud. They got dudes everywhere on this team.
They do.
You
It's
talked about
talented.
Garrett Wilson. They drafted a first round left tackle. They have their Mason Taylor second round tight end. Got him a tight end. That's nice. Sauce Gardner on the other side. Quentin Williams
And Quincy, his brother. I
and
mean,
Quincy.
dude's
So
on every level.
like both of them. So, but like, is it a bad thing if they win? They went 5-12 last year. Is it a bad thing if they go 7-10? I don't think so.
No,
I think that's a very positive for them. I don't see them doubling their win total, them going 10-7.
I don't
But
either. I
but
don't
if
either.
they go 7-10, I think this is like a quite, and their schedule's not too hard. Not too hard. They do play. They have, they play the Bills week 2, but then they don't have the Bills until week 18. They play the Ravens week 12. They play the Bucks. They open up on the road. Oh no, they open up at home against the Steelers. Oh, that's funny. I just noticed that.
What?
They play the Steelers week 1.
Oh, that's funny.
That is. I
That's
love that.
that's the NFL, man. They
So
really do. They do. Like, I think the NFL does have, like, I mean, it's the NFL, so you would expect it, but like, I think they do have insider knowledge, like, because they did this with Baker Mayfield a couple years ago, where it's like everybody was like, Baker Mayfield going to the Panthers, going to the Panthers. He's probably going to the Panthers, but it's not official. And then the schedule comes out, and it's like Browns Panthers week 1, and lo and behold, Baker ends up on the Panthers. Like, so I think the NFL does know, like, those they all talk, and they're like, yeah, it's not official yet, but Aaron Rodgers is gonna be a Steeler at some point, and it's like, all right, we'll just put him against the Jets then week 1.
I mean, that was like really the only place that wanted him.
Well, he wanted to go to he really wanted to do the Brett Favre arc. Like, he was trying so hard to do it.
Are like, nah, we good, bro.
We got
good.
JJ McCarthy. We're good. He's like, you sure? It's like, we are absolutely sure, Aaron.
We're good. We're fine over here. So yeah, I think throw 2024 out. That doesn't matter. We had that was just weird, but this new regime, I'm pretty excited for it, and I am looking forward to seeing the progress of this team. Like I said, ceiling for them probably 8-9.
I think that as well. That's
9-8 if like everything goes well. I think you brought up a really great point. They lost a lot of defensive talent, and so look, Aaron Glenn, he had a great good defense last year, losing 21 players there, or a lot of players on defense, losing them. So if anyone could get a unit together, it would be him, Steve Wilkes, defensive coordinator there. So I do like this team. Looking forward to what they can accomplish this year. Only thing hiccup there is like Justin Fields, if he can play decently passing wise, because he's going to be an excellent runner. But if he can get his passing up, then yeah, this team could be really, really solid. I think 9-8 is like that. Like everything went great for them, but like their floor 7-10, 6-11. I would not be mad at that. Like, I feel like that's a great stepping stone, and you can get better the following year. But
I mean, I echo a lot of what you said. I do think, again, as much as I do like Justin Fields, and I think he's cool, like, I think people, as they have been with Justin Fields basically his whole career, are just too optimistic about what he can do. You're going to have a cap put on you, and there's a ceiling with how far you can go with a quarterback like Justin Fields. No knock on him, but it's like he can keep you in games if you scheme him up right. Like
4 years.
Yeah, I mean, but this is what it is. He is a bridge quarterback. They're clearly going to be, unless he just has a renaissance. They, like a Baker.
It can't happen.
We saw it with Baker. We saw it with Baker where we all said Baker's a bridge quarterback. Which happened with Jared Goff, where we're like, Jared Goff's a bridge quarterback, and then all of a sudden we're like, oh, no, wait, this is just their quarterback now. This is just their franchise guy. I'm not saying it can't happen, and the Jets would love it to happen because they got him, his contract. I mean, well, they're going to have to re-sign him, but, like, you're not having to spend draft capital on a high-level quarterback. Like, you can go into the draft next year, build up that secondary, get a nice corner to pair with Sauce, or get a nice safety, or get another defensive lineman. You can get another receiver to pair with Garrett Wilson, and all of a sudden it's like I mean, you look at this, it's like, this team has a little ways to go, but like you're one more really, really good offseason away from like, oh wow, you have like depth now, and you have guys on every level of your defense, and you have weapons, and your offensive line is really good because you're going into year 2 with this unit. Like, it's going to be a tough year. You're not going to win a lot of games, but like the Jets fans have had tough years in and out year after year. Like, I feel like if they're looking at a season where they're 7-10, 8-9, and it's like, but man, we're a lot of fun to watch. Like, we run the ball a lot. We're beating the shit out of these teams, like physically speaking. And yeah, we're losing close games here and there, but like the bones are there. Like we are really, we're taking the proper steps, and you can just feel the vibes. I think Jets fans would love that. I think it would be the best season they have had in over a decade, even if it is a losing
A
season.
lot of hope, and a lot of hope.
Yeah,
Going into the future, like we won like a few more games than we did last year, but it seems like our head coach is that guy, and maybe if Justin Fields has a renaissance, then hey, we got a quarterback that we could probably sign not to an insane amount of money.
yeah.
Maybe get him around like that 50-ish money. Then like, hey, we're sitting good.
And for the record, Justin Fields is only 26, so he'd be 27 this time next year. I mean, dang, bro, like you get a solid. If Justin Fields is your guy, which again, I don't think he will be, but like if he is,
No, I mean they're paying him like he's
a bridge.
that bridge.
He's a bridge. Which hey, Justin Fields, I think he just loves the opportunity at this point.
I mean, that's all you can ask for at this point. Yeah,
100%. So, anything else you got on this?
no, I mean it's crazy what Aaron Rodgers being off your team does. Because you know how much I loved the Jets last year.
Man, yeah, you would not stop talking about him.
I just love this team so much.
It was hilarious because we got to do it 2 years in a row. Because we got to do it the first year, and then he got hurt on like the fourth play, and it was like, okay, now we get to just do that all over again and have these same conversations and talk about how the Jets, what are they? Oh, I love them on paper. They're so good. And then on paper, they weren't even good. Like, it wasn't injuries that got them. It was literally they just weren't good. So, I digress. All right, Christian, let's talk our last team, the last place New England Patriots. Now, Christian, look, off the rip, I'm going to say this. I had not really, I really had not dug deep. I paid attention. I pay attention to the NFL.
Yeah.
But I had not dug deep into the Patriots because I know everybody's high on them. I know they're everybody's like sleeper, which makes them basically nobody's sleeper because, you can't ever, if everybody's like this bad team is going to be good now, like, you don't really get credit when they're good. But that said, dude, I can't make them my sleeper because I picked the Broncos. I feel good about the Broncos. But, dude, I'm telling you, I am drinking the Patriots Kool-Aid. I am drinking it so much right now.
Maybe not as much as you, but I do like this team.
Like,
I think this team is going to be this team's going to be annoying.
I mean, holy shit! Like, it's just
we'll see them in week 2. So
the list of things that this team did this offseason is so. I mean, arguably the best coaching hire, Mike Vrabel. Let's go.
Yeah.
I mean, him or Pete Carroll. I mean,
yeah, I would say Pete Carroll.
It's an argument. It's an argument. Like, it's a case, and either way, it's a great coaching hire. Let's rebuild the offensive line. Let's get hella depth on our defensive line. Let's go get Josh McDaniels. Let's go get him back. And let's bring in Doug Marrone to coach our offensive line. Former NFL head coach Doug Marrone coached at a bunch of places. Like, I mean, this, and then there's Drake May. And again, like, I like Drake May. I was kind of
Drake May.
I was feeling like people, y'all, too high on Drake May. I feel like we see this all the time. And then I went and watched some more Drake May, and I went and dug into the data, and I got some more film, studying that all 22 on our NFL Plus subscription. And, bro, I mean, damn, dude, he jumps off the screen. Little famous Skate Baylessism. He jumps off the screen. Like, the stuff that he was able to do with no weapons, no run game, horrible coaching, and one of the 2 worst offensive lines in the league. I mean, dude, it's a miracle. It was a miracle.
I would say also he's like the most athletic quarterback they've had in a while.
It really is like, and I know it's a new regime technically, but like I mean, the mentality is it's like they see Josh Allen play twice a year, and now they see a quarterback that looks like Josh Allen, and they're like, I'm gonna get Josh Allen light. Like, why wouldn't I do that? So they went and got him, and I mean, if he takes a step forward this year, holy shit, dude! Like, this team could be.
I will be sad as a Dolphins fan if they really take a huge step here. I like you said, I like a lot what they did bringing in Mike Vrabel. I think they're going to be tough defensively. I mean, they're already really solid. Christian Gonzalez, young corner there, love him.
Oh yeah.
Brought in Carlton Davis. They still have Julian Pepper. Jabril Peppers still there.
Back there, yeah.
Peppers played really well. They went out and I think defensively brought in Milton Williams, linebacker, inside. No, defensive lineman. Excuse me.
Yeah, I was a little iffy on that because I know he came from Philly and everybody was high on him, but like he didn't play a
Got the bag.
lot,
I
so
mean, hey,
kind of
you win
risky.
this.
But
Look, you win the Super Bowl, and then
yeah,
everybody starts digging up.
it's also like Mike Vrabel, like, Mike Vrabel's like,
Yeah.
fuck you, dude. This guy's awesome. Like, I'm like, okay, Mike Vrabel. Like, like, fuck, what do I know? I'm an idiot. So,
Brought in Harold Landry from Tennessee Titans. Very familiar with him there. Linebacker Robert Spillane
yeah, Robert Spillane.
will be there. Two new linebackers also. So I like this defense. I think they'll probably be really really solid. It would be a great unit with Mike Vrabel there. Being more of a defensive minded head coach. So I do expect them to do well. I like I like bringing back Josh McDaniels now as a head coach. Hate that deal. Hate that move. But as an offensive coordinator, I
Great.
mean, he got the best. He got the best season out of Mac Jones. They
Rookie
went 10 and
season, Mac
7.
Jones.
Rookie season, Mac Jones. Yeah,
I mean,
they went 10-7, I believe.
yeah,
Made the playoffs. I mean, they lost. It was
to
a
the
rookie,
Bills.
whatever. But yeah, lost to the Bills, but went 10-7. He was an alternate, but he didn't make the All Pro.
Pro
No,
Bowl.
Pro Bowl.
Yeah,
Excuse me. I was like,
definitely
shows
not an
All
all.
Pro. I was
Definitely
like,
not
whoa,
an all
whoa,
pro.
whoa, 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 whoa. Wait. No. But yeah, got him a Pro Bowl. Got him into the Pro Bowl that season. So I like that.
Yeah.
As we said, as we talked about with the Jets, made a big boy decision. Will Campbell, offensive tackle with the 4th overall pick. I know he has tiny hands.
Tiny
Or
arms,
is
and
it the
tiny
rich
little,
tiny?
it's just,
Yeah. It's the arms. It's the arms.
I mean, he played at LSU, dude. Like, he's fine.
I mean,
he's fine. He's playing
he
Alabama. Like, he's
dude.
okay.
Like, and he. I mean, I don't know if you remember that. I think it was last year or the year before. When he's that guy that was talking about, when you give up a sack, you know everyone knows your name, everybody's talking about you, but when you don't, when you're not giving up sacks, nobody talks about you. That means you're doing your job. So I think he'll be fine. I mean, I get it, the measurables and what you want, and all the scouting and all that stuff is like very very like down to a T, and this is what you need. But I mean, I think he was one of the best tackles in the league. I think we'll see that. Like you said, he played at LSU, so he was playing top talent every year in the SEC, Alabama,
100%.
Georgia, Ole Miss. I get like he was playing, and they were always on national TV. So he played. He saw probably a lot of good pass rushers, and they believed in him, and they drafted him number 4th overall. They got a second round running back and Trayvon Henderson.
Trey Henderson is going to be awesome.
I'm excited to see him. They got a receiver in the 3rd, Kyle Williams. Now, all in all, for the offense, Stephon Diggs, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, he now has a number 1 receiver there. He's a little bit past his prime. Can he stay healthy? He had injury issues with Houston last year. Overpaid him, but you gotta get him somebody to throw to there. So I get bringing him in. I like Mac Hollins from. I know he's famous for not wearing shoes or whatever, but I like him ball. He was on Miami. He was on Miami a few years ago.
Yeah, he is your guy. You would know.
He
You would know. Yeah.
He made some insane catches. I remember that one brand. I don't know if it was like a Thursday night game or whatever, but like in a Raiders game, dude like caught like a huge play for. I think it was when we were starting Ryan Fitzpatrick. Like dude can ball, and he can make some big catches there. So I like him there as their second receiver. They still have Rondre Stevenson. I think he's still solid. So good running back pairing. They took Campbell, brought in Morgan Moses, another tackle there. So I mean, they're doing a lot of great things there in New England, and I'm very very scared to play them this upcoming year. And like I said, we're playing them week 2, so we're gonna see. And then they got a little, maybe a little team on their level. We'll see how they fare against week 1 against the Raiders. That'll really show you where they're at, because I think they probably are probably better than the Raiders, but Yeah, I've been talking for a minute, Jake.
No, you're good. You're good. I actually went
thoughts?
through and I was like preliminarily, I guess, picking their schedule. I landed them starting off very slow, like 1-4. Like I think they just, getting stuff again. Morgan Moses is new now. He's obviously older, had some health concerns, so we'll see how he fares. But still a great tackle with Will Campbell over there. Like that, your tackles are set. Brought in Garrett Bradbury, who is a solid average center, which I think they would kill for. They have Jared Wilson, their third rounder, listed as a starter at the moment, so we'll see. They have Mike Onwenu, who he was probably their bright spot, their lone bright spot on their offensive line last year. So like they now have 5 guys that it's like we have a whole unit of guys that are just really good. Stephon Diggs, they obviously traded for. That was like the big acquisition they made, right? You talked about Matt Collins.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. And then, we talk about the Jets losing a lot of depth defensively on the defensive line in particular. This defensive line is so deep. I mean, Milton Williams, Christian Barremore's still there. Harold Landry reunited with Mike Vrabel. Clavon Chasson, Keon White, and Ferenny Jennings. I mean, just so many dudes. And then, as you said, Robert Spillane, 158 tackles last year. Not great in coverage, but, this was the worst defensive line in the league, arguably, last year. Like, you want them to stop the run? They don't do that very well.
Oh my god, yeah, they were bottom of the bottom in a lot of metrics last year.
And then they were dead last in sacks, and they were 31st in pressure rate. So if your 2 jobs as a defensive line are stop the run and get after the quarterback, they didn't do either of those things. So they brought in a lot of guys that are going to help them stop the run. Again, they have also Robert Spillane, who's going to help them too. He's not great in coverage, but he is a great run defense linebacker. And then there's their secondary. And you talked about Christian Gonzalez. I got a stat for you, Christian.
Ooh.
I got a stat for you. So Christian Gonzalez, when you look at corners who played more than 500 snaps in coverage last year, he gave up the 3rd lowest passer rating of any of those corners. 70.5.
He's a really good corner.
Now I'll give you the other top 2. Marlon Humphreys was second. He had like 65 or something.
Yeah, we know about Marlon Humphrey.
Derek Stingley was number 1.
Okay.
Do you want to guess what the passer rating he gave up was?
Derek Stingley?
Derek Stingley, his passer rating that he gave up.
So you said Gonzalez was a Z or
was 70.5.
70.5.
That was the passer rating he gave up, was a 70.5. And then Marlon Humphreys was 65.
65. Oh, yeah. Damn, it has
terrible.
To be
I mean, you're
50. It has to be in the 50s. 40s? 30.
39.6.
Damn.
That's stupid. That doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
That was a bad, you lost the play if you threw it to Derek Stingley.
I mean, that's insane. But I digress. This is not about Derek Stingley. This is about Christian Gonzalez. But I saw that stat. I was scrolling through the numbers and I saw 39.6. I was like, what? Oh my God, that's Derek Stingley. So anyway, as you said, pairing him up with Carlton Davis, though, and they got Jabril Peppers still back there. To me, I think this unit, I mean, they have depth. They got dudes on every level. This secondary, I think, is going to be really good this year. I think they're going to be better at stopping the run. I think they're going to be not great at getting after the passer, but league average. I mean, this could easily end up being like a top 12-ish defense to me.
That's a step up, yeah.
Yeah, it's a massive step up. And, I mean, they're going to be absolutely better at stopping the run. So, I mean, I love so much about, I mean, you get a sophomore jump out of, sophomore slump or sophomore jump, which one you want, but you get that out of Drake May. He's got Stephon Diggs to throw to. They have great tight ends. Austin Hooper is still there.
Hunter
Henry is the other one. I apologize. He is still there. I mean, so they can run.
Austin Hooper on this lineup?
Yeah. So
oh my God.
And they got like 2 other tight ends too, like 2 young studs that are that they can still run with. So I mean, they got some weapons for him. I mean, Trevion Henderson in the backfield is going to be great. Dude, this is a team that went from being like the worst in the NFL to all of a sudden you're like, what is this team's weakness? Like, yeah, could we use another
overall talent?
Yeah, like, could we use another weapon? Yeah, sure. Could we use a real difference maker on the defensive line? Yeah, sure. But, like, this team is solid everywhere. and a solid team everywhere, I'm going to say it. That's 10 wins. That's a 10-win team. That's a 10-win team. And I think the Patriots are going to win 10 games, and I think they're going to be in the playoffs this year. I'm leaking my preview episode. I know. I get it. I'm saying it. This is going to be a playoff team next year. If Drake May is good, if Drake May just shits the bed and is not good, then yeah, they're not going anywhere.
But you're saying this year 10-7.
This year 10-7.
That's, I mean, depending on how it shakes, but that's a 7 seed, 6 seed.
They have a very easy schedule. Everything you just look at with this team, it's like that lines up, that lines up, that lines up. Oh my god, that lines. Oh my god, oh my god. Like
they're favored in 11 games.
I know. It's dude. I'm telling you.
Yeah, they have a really easy.
What's their over under?
7.5.
Oh, smash that over. Come on, y'all. Come on. That's free. Look, I can't help you. I can't help you if somebody gets hurt. If Drake May gets hurt and they're bailing water at quarterback, I can't. Smash that over. Smash it. That's free money. That is free money.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not. I do really like this team. I'm sipping of the Kool-Aid a little bit. I'm not taking gulps. I guess so. Talking about their ceiling, then. Man, they won 4 games the past 2 years. Man, that's a hell of a jump. They're more than doubling their win total the past 2 seasons. Shit, they went 2022. They went 8-9. So I mean, damn. Ceiling for me, 9-8. For me, 10-7 possibly. I mean, they don't have a lot of people that, like, yes, they play the Bills twice. They also have the Bucks. They play the Bengals, and then maybe they probably split with Miami and maybe split with the Jets. We'll see. But other than that, it's favorable throughout. I think they could probably beat the Raiders. Steelers could, who knows? Panthers, Saints, Titans, Browns, Falcons, and the Giants. Yeah, I mean, I could see it. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they go 10-7. I'd be a bit surprised, but I'll say 9-8 as their ceiling, and then floor 7-10. Like, maybe Drake May struggles early, maybe takes him a little too late. Like later in the season, they kind of start picking it up. They do play Baltimore and Buffalo back to back, and late in the season, week 15 and week 16. But other than that, maybe like he shines against the Dolphins those last 2 games, and probably goes into the next season with some momentum. But yeah, I'd say 7-10, which I don't think would be a bad thing for the Patriots. I know Robert Kraft, he's been a lot more vocal than he has been since, now that Bill's left and Tom's left, and he kind of seems impatient, but I mean, he got Mike Vrabel, so I think Mike Vrabel will get a bit more of a leash than last year's guy, which I'm blanking on his name. Don't know. I didn't look
Gerard Mayo.
Gerard Mayo. So I think Mike Vrabel's going to get a lot more of a leash. And then again, Josh McDaniels as the offensive coordinator, I really do like that.
I do too. I think it's a good pairing. And to your point about the floor, right? Like, I think early on, this team is not going to look like. I think people are going to sell their Patriots stock early. I mean, I think they're going to Raiders week 1. I think they're probably going to lose that. I think
maybe win.
They can win.
That's on their level.
It's on their. They're about the same kind of tier of a team. But I think early on, like, this offensive line is all brand new pieces. Basically, like, you're going to be trying to get that together. Drake May is only in his 2nd year. He's coming in under a new coach. Like, I get that. Like, well, they have a new quarterback and a new coach in the Raiders. I get that, but like, I mean, Pete Carroll, he gets his guys up. Geno Smith has worked with them, and their best weapon is a stud running back. Running backs work immediately in the NFL. There's no adjustment period for running backs. So I could see them losing that game, just adjust. And then next week 2, they got to go to Miami, which everybody loses.
They do struggle in Miami.
Everybody, September in Miami is awful. So, yeah. And then week 3,
that sun beaming down on you.
Week 3, you have the Steelers, which
Yeah, it's a little
I know
tough.
everybody's like, well, dude, the Steelers find ways to win. Like, they gonna win 9 games.
They'll
Who they
find
gonna
a way.
beat? Like, I feel like so, and then they get the Panthers. They should beat the Panthers at home, unless the Panthers are a little
Week
better.
5,
But then
Sunday
they go
night.
on the road against the Bills. Like,
That's crazy.
I mean, this
It's
really
a
could
big-
be a 1-4 team through 5 weeks, and I think they pick it up late in the season. Like, I think they'll be good, but you know, if they go, I mean, man, if they go 6-6 on the back half, which is like that's solid. That's a 7-10 season. You know, so it's very possible. Like 7-10 is on the board if they get off to a slow start, especially. But like, I think they will get off to a slow start, but I think they'll turn it around, and I think they'll start rattling off wins, and they'll be in that playoff push at the end of the season. And we're gonna look up and go, remember when the Patriots were like 1-4 at the beginning of the season? It's like, yeah, and now they're good. So it started clicking. They're putting together. Drake May's good. So, all right, well, with that, everybody, we are done. We have 28 teams previewed. We have just 4 to go. And I'll tell you what, it's the NFC East last up. The NFC's crazy, defending Super Bowl champions. We got Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders. We got the Dallas Cowboys, America's team. And then we got the Giants, who, like, everybody wants to show. The Giants got, you know, we'll talk about it on. You know what? We'll save it for Thursday. Y'all, you got to tune in to hear those takes.
Yeah.
You can't be handing them out here. All right. Well, until next time, everybody, we love you. We cherish you. Please like, subscribe, follow us, share us, give us a rating. We're on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok. We post every day. We have clips daily. We have a podcast twice a week. We're all over the place. So just stick with us. Thank you for riding with us, and we will catch y'all on Thursday.